Oh wow. What's up guys? Welcome to my first live. So today we're gonna talk about mental health. So hope you can hear me. So first, for those who want to join, can join. So hope you all can hear me. I hope you all can hear me. I'll know when to start. I'll know when to start. But welcome to the live, guys. Today is a special day. Excuse me. We want to talk about something so special today. We want to talk about mental health. So kindly join the live, guys. Kindly join the live. But I can start. I can see one person is already in there. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Oh wow. It's underscore Jazz. You're there already. So guys, welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. And today we want to talk about something so special. We want to talk about mental health. So hope you all can see me. You can confirm whether I'm audible enough. You can confirm whether I'm visible enough. Let me know. So guys, welcome to the live. So today we want to talk about a very special topic. We want to talk good. We want to talk about mental health and related stuff, as you said. And can we start? Can we start? Can we start? That's amazing. You can hear me. That's amazing. All right. So we can start. So today I really chose to talk about this mental health because, as we all know, mental health is, I can say, is almost becoming a pandemic. Because it is, I'll be taking my water because it's gonna be like a lecture class or something. So guys, today I want us to talk about mental health. As you all know, mental health is something that is so, it's a problem that is really affecting most people, and it is affecting quite a huge population in the world, from any age, from young children, youths, adults, and even the old age. They are all affected by mental health. So what is mental health? Mental health. What is mental health? So in case anybody want to suggest anything, in case anybody want to comment anything, you can just comment on the comment section down below and let me know what you think. So guys, welcome to this live today. I know a lot of people have been pushing me to talk about this, to have this conversation, or rather to talk about this topic. And yes, today we want to start an introduction of this. As you've seen how the title suggests, this is the first episode, and we'll first touch on the introduction of it, an overview of it, as we develop more episodes on the same, as we even add further and engage you people. So welcome to the live. So mental health, I think you can start so that other people can join us. Other people can join us. So I really hope I'm audible enough. Now, mental health. What is mental health? What is mental health? Guys, I'm still waiting for you all to join. For those who want to join the live, can join the live. So you can start over. So mental health. Mental health, it basically requires the development of cognitive, emotional, and social skills, for which most of our educational settings make an ideal context of this. And wow, I can see we have another member. So welcome. You can comment down below. So today we are talking about mental health. Whoever will catch us ahead, we've not yet started yet, but we will. We are starting our live right now. So mental health, basically we are saying it requires the development of cognitive, emotional, and social skills. And most of our educational setup really make an ideal context on this. So as you all know that most mental health and psychosocial issues are very, very neglected these times, and it really affects most people because this mental health has some very, very complicated complications, rather, things like depression, stress, and many other things. And there are also further complications of the things that cause. There are further complications of, for instance, stress, depression, which can be very fatal depending with people. So mental health is a very, very huge topic, and it's really important that we talk about it. Although most people will really not like to open up on this, or rather talk about their mental status, probably because of they are afraid of what people might think of them, stigma, or many other things. But since it really affects people, it is very important to handle mental health as a topic, and it will really, really help people. So we can start by defining what mental health is. So mental health is basically the state of well-being in which every individual realizes their own potential, you see, and can cope with normal stresses of life, can work, be productive, and be fruitful, you see, and one is able to make, or rather contribute to his or her community. And it's not just the absence of an illness. So basically, mental health is the state of well-being in which every individual realizes their own potential and can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work and become productive and fruitful, and one is able to contribute, or rather make a contribution to his or her own community. So that is now the mental health, basically mental health. So your mental health can be okay, well, or depressed, or not in a good state. So that's basically mental health. So it's not just the absence of illness. It's not just the absence of illness. So mental health is quite a thing that you can really, yeah, I can see you're having more people joining the live, so you're really welcome. So yeah, mental health is basically the health, or the well-being of your mental state, you see. So that is when everybody is able to realize their own potential, can cope with normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and one is able to contribute to his or her own community. That's now having a good mental health, or mental health generally. So what are some of the importance of mental health, maybe in education, in our lives, and in everything? So mental health provides a sense of identity and self-respect. You see, it provides, when you have a steady mental health, you'll be able to have a sense of identity. You'll be able to identify who you are. Self-identity. You can be able to control yourself, make your own decisions. That's self-identity. You see, you have a sense of direction. You have some sense of self-respect and meaning in your own life. So that is the big importance of mental health. When you have a good mental health, you can provide a good sense of identity, self-respect, and direction and meaning in life. So among many other things like mastery, safety, social support, and participation. So those are the main importance of mental health. And a good mental health is associated with better educational and behavioral outcome. Yeah. If you have any question, you can ask. If something is not clear, you can also ask for a reference or something. So we're saying that the main importance of mental health is that it provides a good sense of identity and self-respect, direction, and meaning in life. Mastery, sense of belonging. You get to have the sense of belonging, safety, social supports, and participation. For that is really healthy in our day-to-day life. You see, and a good mental health is really associated with better educational and behavioral outcomes. So a holistically healthy individual engages in productive activities. When you are holistically healthy, you have a good mental state. You engage in productive activities. You have fulfilling relationships with others, and you display the capacity to adapt, change, and cope with the adversity. You see, so it is very important to have a very healthy state of mind for you to really have a good relation with people around. Display the capacity to adapt to change, in that no change can really affect you. You see, that is when you have a really good mental state, you can be able to adapt to any change and cope with the adversity. So there are some of the things that indicate a good mental health. So some of the mental health indicators are things like you are able to develop psychologically, emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually. Those are some of the indicators of mental health. Another one is that you can initiate, develop, and sustain mentally satisfying relationships. You see, those are some of the indicators that can indicate you having a good health, or rather a good mental state. You can be able to initiate, develop, and sustain mentally satisfying relationships. Your engagements with other people is really amazing. You don't have misinterruptions, or rather you don't have misunderstandings with other people. You are able to interact very well with people and have satisfying relationships. Those are some of the indicators of good mental health. Another indicator of a good mental health is that you can be able to use and enjoy your solitude. When you're alone, when you're being alone, you can be able to enjoy your solitude time, rather your solo time, your time while you are alone. Because you see, when you're not in a good mental health, a lot of people tend to have a lot of stress. They don't enjoy being by themselves. They might even tend to be because of how much they are depressed or how much they are going through. So it is really a good indicator to when you have a good mental health. That's when you are able to use and enjoy solitude time. You can be very happy of yourself, so proud of yourself, and you enjoy even moments and time with yourself. So those are some of the indicators of a good mental health. Another indicator of a good mental health is that you become aware of others and empathize with them. You see, when you have a good mental state, you can be able to be aware of other people around you, and you can be able to empathize with them. You can be able to feel what they feel about maybe themselves or the surroundings or whatever thing. So that is another mental health. Another good indicator of mental health is you can be able to play and learn. You be able to engage freely. You can be able to play without any. You can be able to play something, not be able to play and learn anything. When you don't have a good mental state, it's even very hard for you to gain some knowledge, or rather concentrate on something. So when you have a good health, one of the things is you can be able to play and learn very well. Another indicator of mental health is you develop a sense of right and wrong. You can be able to tell what is right, what is wrong. You see, so when you really advocate for good mental health, or rather a good peace of mind, it really helps you in building who you are and generally creating a positive environment around you. So you can be able to create, or rather develop a sense of identifying what is right and what is wrong. You see, another good indicator of mental health is that you resolve problems and setbacks and learn from them. You see, you can be able to resolve problems very well. You won't be the one who, when problems come, you become part of the problem, or rather, you you make the problems more. So when you have a good mental state, or rather when you have a good mental state, or another indicator of a good mental state is when you are able to resolve problems and setbacks and be able to learn from them. You can talk about the positive mental health and what it can really do to you, or rather bring. So if you have any questions, I can see we have 5 people in the live. If you have any questions, if you feel that I'm going too fast, you can let me know. But we can continue. I can see a lot of people are joining. 5 people, you're all welcome. Ask any questions. Okay, and yeah, so we can talk about the need first. We can first talk about things like the need and emergence of having a good mental health. So you should be able to make your mental health a priority. So for that, you have to ensure a physical and psychological safety of our people, or the people around us. You see, you should be able to have. Oh wow, I can see very important topic. That is Fatima. Oh, that is amazing. That is amazing. So yeah, you should be able to make your mental health a priority. Because many people fail to receive early and timely quality integration into these things like mental health and stuff. That is why you really find yourselves struggling with this mental health thing, or rather struggling with stress, depression, and so much things. According as I got some reference over here, and according to WHO, that is the World Health Organization. The self-harm rates in the number of adolescent age groups and even to the young adults are found to be very highest at a global level. As you all are aware, mental health is really huge and really affects most of the people, and you all have to agree with that. So we have things like emotional stress and other concerns are a major contributing factor for most of the psychological illnesses, or rather physical illnesses. You have when you have stress, when you have emotional stress, you're not relaxed, it really contributes to physical illnesses. Someone can develop things like hypertension, can develop other chronic illnesses just because of things like emotional stress, which all comes from having a poor mental health, or rather poor mental status. So mental health care mental health care providers like psychiatrists, clinical psychologists, counselors, and allied professionals agree that early intervention can really prevent future mental health conditions like what we are talking about. And further research findings suggest that factors like physical illnesses, limited basic resources, inability to provide for oneself and family, as well as unfulfilled desires in life, are major things that impact mental health and well-being. You see, when somebody is not able to maybe provide for his or her family, when someone is not able to meet his or her needs, that is when somebody now becomes stressful, you now become unsettled, you're not really in your good or in your right mental state, and it is really becoming quite a thing, and it really affects so many people. So we can talk about the need and the emergence of this mental health. So we should always make our health a priority, or rather our mental health a priority. So to ensure physical and psychological safety of our people around us, we should have easy access to things like mental health services and supports in places around us in the first step. That is one of the first things that we really need to do to ensure that this pandemic doesn't really become too much or really affect most of the people. So, and the ambit of mental health must must encompass, I mean, the emotional, emotional, behavioral, and social well-being of a child or a person or any other person. And the most important feature of mental health is adaptability. When you are able to adapt to our surroundings, the environment, it will be very, very easy for you to cope up with these daily challenges, and I mean, you will be able to cope with these daily challenges effectively. You know, for example, for example, a source of like for example, in a school setup, I can use an example of a school setup where the environment is can be hectic, or rather, can people have a lot of in schools you have things like bullying, so such things can even cause a lot of problems mentally, or rather psychologically. It can affect so many people. So there's a need and emergence of ensuring that we really get this mental health issue together and address it to reduce the effects that it causes to people around us. And you all know the the effects can be really severe sometimes. Good. Yes, I can see your comments. That's our African problem. We think we should seek help. That's Fatima. That's our African problem. We think we should not seek help. We can deal with it, which is not right. Mental health is very dangerous. True, mental health is very dangerous. So I was saying positive mental health can lead to a success in life generally. For instance, I was making an example. Children's success in school and life is directly linked to mental health. You see, some research findings indicate that children or students who receive mental health support to do better actually in academics and are flexible to adapt to change or something. So the overall mental health determines your academics, maybe success and general success, and it can even determine your academic success for students. A reason for growing need. Research suggests that a quarter of people, or rather adolescents to young adults, experience mental health concern, like stress, anxiety, bullying, learning disability, and things like alcohol or substance use, which I can see the rain is really coming up, which really affects them later in life. You see, and a large number of students do not receive, or rather, not necessarily students, but a large number of people do not receive the attention and care they need because of the prevalent stigma associated with medical illnesses. Therefore, it is very important to have a widespread awareness to address this mental health. So that's why we are really trying. That's why I want to really become a champion of this. I really want to encourage mental health. I really want us to have a good, or rather positive mental state of mind. You see. What else? So there's a high need of that, there's a high need of really making the mental health issue be close to the people, rather be really around people for easy accessibility and such things, so that we can reduce the effects of depression, the effects of stress, which comes from having poor mental health status. What else can I talk about today on mental health? If you have any question, you can ask, because I'm here to answer some of those questions that you might be having on mental health issues. And this is just an introduction of it, because I just want us to have this overview of mental health, what it is really about. And if anybody, our next session will involve things like counseling. We'll now get deeper into it. We'll handle cases, and we'll be able to address every part of mental problems or such. According to my notes over here, just allow me guys to refer a little bit. Yeah, Shalistar, welcome, is saying there are not enough mental health professionals to meet the need of citizens in America. The need is so strong. Oh wow, exactly, Fatima. It is the same for black people in America. We try and are expected to be so strong all the time. Oh, for sure. But yeah, there's need for trained professionals like counselors and specifically trained people to handle things like behavioral and emotional challenges that we're facing, with children, adults, and even the youths. Um, we should also consider things like paving way for smooth transitions. You know, you cannot when you transit from your things like the age transition. When you transit from maybe from your secondary school to your university or college level, there are new things that you face. So those transitions should be smooth, in that you should be able to know what you're getting yourself into, so that whenever you get yourself into the next stage, you don't really get affected or don't really feel that pressure in you. So one of the most important culture is challenge is accepting and adopting a change in a person. Or rather, it's very difficult to adopt a change in maybe in the environment or situation. And so a lot of people experience these challenges when growing up, because uh, we are raised to believe that change is only a constant in life, and transitions are an essential part of our own life, and they come in various forms of life, situations starting from our childhoods. You have many, because it's stage wise. You come from childhood, from, for example, children at pre-primary grade levels. That's a good example, because a good example actually comes from, because how our upbringing from primary, the next class, and the next stage. Because with that we have to we experience change in age, change in behavior, change in a lot of things. So that transition should be really looked into, because it will really prepare us to have a good transition in terms of mental abilities or other capabilities to cope with what we are going to experience in the next stage of life. So, for example, children at pre-primary grade level at times feel insecure when they are expected to adapt to another setting and routine in, for example, primary school. And most of the time, we do not look at it as an issue, and we assume that the child will adopt it. And in most cases, you see, the transition from home to school can be smooth for the child, but in some cases, it might be really disturbing if not handled with care, because now you get to experience a new thing. So you transitioning from maybe primary to an high school, you now experience crazy things. It starts now affecting your mental health slowly, as now you transit from maybe high school to college or university. You now experience more problems, more things, and it really affects your mental health. So that transition is really important. We should really prepare ourselves in transiting to the next stage, or rather, what we are going to engage in the next, whatever you're going to partake in the next phase of your life. You should really look on that transition and be ready and be prepared for what you're going to experience next, so that you don't really experience an issue with coping up and a lot of things, because that will now lead to having mental problems, and you have stress, you don't relax, you see. So it is really important to have a very good peace of mind, because it will really help in terms of having a healthy lifestyle, general well-being, and so many other things. So mental health is quite broad. It's quite broad. So today we just having an introduction, and trying to bring you guys close to this, we engage with you guys on this topic, so that you don't really feel like one is left behind, or rather you can't really, it's something that you can't really talk about or something. So it is really important that we talk about this mental health thing. So there's need for trained professionals to handle this. Counselors are specifically trained to handle behavioral and emotional challenges faced by us. So we really need to have more of these professionals around us to ensure that we have a good access to these services. So, I mean, in conclusion, or rather in conclusion of just this thing, access to mental health services is very vital in improving physical and psychological safety. And it is important to create a culture that enables us to report safety concerns. You see, mental health professionals provide support, identity, and I mean identify and work with. They actually provide that identity to make you get to know who you really get to know yourself. You see, so it's really, really important to have these professionals around us because they really, really help us in getting this guidance and support psychologically and in all other forms. So we should be able to develop a positive behavior, support each other in things like problem solving, participate in, problem solving, facilitate learning, and so many other things. Um, uh, I don't know if up to this point somebody has a question or anything or a concern or rather a case scenario that you can talk about. Uh, During the early developmental years, the child shows changes in physical, motor, social, emotional, and language and cognitive skills. So the role of families and parents is to ensure that we have this readiness. We are really ready to get ourselves into these stages, into these things, and get ready to face these challenges that are around us. And we find in some other schools, teachers will support families, teachers will support families in support to ensure that we have these nice transitions between maybe stages in life. I would like our next chapter to deal with to be very exclusive in mental health in families, in communities, in a very holistic approach. You know, they say it takes a village to raise a child. That's an African proverb. You see, so in our next episode, or rather in our next session, we'll be able to have things like counseling services. We'll be able to see key roles and responsibilities of counselors. We'll be able to do more of psychological support. Like most people are affected probably from post-COVID and other things. So if you really feel affected, we can have a lot of those psychological supports. We can talk about the risk factors of mental health and specific mental health conditions. And we'll be really, really able to help and engage most of our people. So, guys, I really want us to engage. I can see some of the people are. So we have some audience remaining. So, guys, what do you think? What do you think? If you have any question, if you have any concern, you can talk about it because I really want us to champion this and really, really have a conversation on this mental health issue because it is really, really becoming a pandemic nowadays. You know, peace of mind is really important for your productivity. For you to be really, really productive in life, you have to have a good peace of mind. So you should be able to relax your mind, or rather have a relaxed mind. That's why I advocate things like meditation sometimes, because you see, meditation really helps you calm your mind. You see, I usually have this approach where you go, chill, put your problems maybe together, see some of the problems that can be solved instantly and those that cannot be solved at that particular moment. You see, for those that cannot be solved at that particular moment, you can create a plan or rather have steps on how you're going to deal with it. Because if you cannot deal with all our problems instantly. You see, so most people have that problem where they really stress about a lot of problems they're having about maybe future and things that they can't really change the situation at that particular time. And it is really affecting a lot of people because most of these cases, or rather most of these situations, you cannot change it. You cannot change a certain thing immediately. For instance, I can give an example of what? Maybe raising school fees, or rather raising, because that is what really, financial stress is really one of the main things that really affects our mental health. Because we are all here to struggle financially, or rather try to make a living. So you see, when somebody isn't able to raise, or rather sustain his or her family, bring up his or her family, they now tend to have a lot of stress. Now they have a negative, or rather they have a negative, it really affects their mental health negative, you see. So I'll prefer that we have a certain, we'll talk about that in our next episode, or rather, we now be having holistic approaches on these mental health issues and a lot of other things. Today it was just having an overview of what this mental health is, what mental health is, what are the indicators of this mental health, what really shows, or rather what really shows you have a good mental health. I can talk about the symptoms of poor mental health, things like stress, things like being uneasy, you see. So it should be it's a very broad topic to talk about. It's raining over here, so I'm trying to, but I can want us to finish this and take your questions if you have any questions, because I really want to champion a peace of mind. I don't really advocate for. I don't really advocate for stress. I'm an enemy of things like stress. I don't like when my people are stressed. I don't like it when I see people stressed. So I really like it when. Sorry, I was wiping my camera. So I don't really like it when people suffer from mental health issues. So guys, I really want us to really engage in this. Give me your suggestions. Talk to me. Feel free. Let me know what you want us to talk about, because this topic is really broad. And what else can I add? We've talked about the transitions. We've talked about the importance of mental health. We've talked about the indicators. We've talked about the needs and emergence of getting these health support, or rather the need and the emergence of how this mental health is really becoming an issue. You see, the need for us to approach this, and the emergence for us to approach this thing, and it is really affecting all generations. It's affecting kids. It's affecting the adolescents. It's affecting the adults. And if you don't watch out, it will really become a crazy pandemic to many people. So guys, I want us to really engage. I want us now to have I will come with a very it will be like a class. The next episode will be like a class. I will now have a comprehensive and detailed study of this mental health, where we'll all share together and learn about this mental health issue. So I can remind you again on the indicators for you to really gauge on where you are. So I can remind you on the indicators of good mental health. So having a good mental health, you should be able to develop psychologically, emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually. You see, you should be able to initiate, develop, and sustain a mentally satisfying relationship. When you're able to do this, you're now in a good state of mind. You see, you are able to enjoy and use your solitude moments. Being alone won't bother you. We won't be afraid that so and so it's not safe for so and so to be alone. You see, so one of the indicators to show that you have a good mental health is that you can be able to use and enjoy your solo moments, or rather your solitude. So I'm reminding you these things so that you can really access yourself, and then you can meet on the next session and talk about this. So you can be able to become aware of others and empathize with others. You can be able to be aware of what your fellow partner, or rather someone who's close to you, can be able to know how they are feeling. You can be able to tell what they are feeling, what they are going through, and you'll be able to empathize with them. You'll be able to talk to them. You can be able to soothe them. You can be able to let them relax, because I really want you to be able to relax your mind, because that is the main thing. The moment you relax and calm, you'll be having a good mental health. Also be able to play and learn. You see, when you're having a good mental health, you play very well. You release a lot of toxins. You a lot of bad energy and a lot of those things, and you'll be able to have a good state of mind. And you'll be able to learn very well, read your books, do a lot of things in a good. When you're not in a good mental state, you can't even be able to read and understand something. For real, you can't be able even to read, because you're not settled mentally. You are having problems. You're having crazy thoughts. You see. So the first thing is you should be able to relax and relax, be calm mentally, for you to be able even to learn something. You see. So another indicator of a good mental health that I'm still reminding you, because we talked about earlier, is you can be able to identify what is right and what is wrong. You see, I always tell people around me that in this life, as long as you are able to tell what is right and what is wrong, then you're good to go. I mean, you can't come here, tell me something, and I can see this is wrong, and I engage with that, or rather I engage with that what is wrong. So when you are able to tell what is right and what is wrong, you're in a very good state of mind. You're in a very good state of mind. There's nothing that can really affect you, because you are able to tell what is right and what is wrong. So that is one of the things that I can really advise or rather advocate. And then you can also be able to resolve and resolve problems and setbacks, and learn from them. If you can be able to resolve problems very amicably and be able to learn from your problems, I can say, or rather I can tell, that you're in a very good state of mind. So if you're not in this bracket, or rather if you're not this bracket, you have an issue in this bracket, you cannot do one or two things in this bracket, please comment down below, engage me, keep up with this channel, because on the next episodes we'll be able to talk about these things, and we'll be able now to talk about live situations. We'll bring case scenarios. You can be able to handle case scenarios, you see. So my take-home message today, I like you guys to go have a moment with yourself, identify what is really bothering you. You can write it down. Write down what is really bothering you to yourself. Write what is really bothering you, and see by yourself. How are you going to achieve a good mental state, or rather, how can you make this thing that you think is bothering you not bother you anymore? And there's a difference, because there are things that you can deal with them at the moment, and there are things that you can't deal with them at that particular time. It will take time for you to deal with that particular moment. For that, you now put that aside, because you now have to develop a plan, or rather steps on which you are going to achieve that. But for those that are really bothering you and you can handle them right now, or rather things like forgetting about it, can help you calm your mind, can help you now achieve a good mental state. So I really advise all of us, it is normal to not have a good mental state because of what we are really going through in our lives. A lot of things are happening in this world currently, but I want us to be realistic and see what we are really. If you have lost your job, for example, if you've lost your job, yes, I know it can really depress you, because you need to sustain yourself, you need to sustain your family. But if you can't, what are you going to do? So for example, such a thing, you now have to develop a certain strategy. Now, what do we do? You cannot just sit and be stressed and say, now what are we going to do? Life is over. No. You now have to sit down, develop a certain strategy, make a plan of on how you're going to get a next job, or rather something of sort. So maybe you can do something like, you can get yourself applying for many jobs, sending your resumes, doing things. You see, when you do that, at least you'll be convincing your mind that yes, I'm in a process of having a peaceful mind, because I'm trying to develop something for myself that will be able to calm whatever I'm facing. You see, so it's quite deep, and it really entails a lot. But it's raining over here, so I want to hurry a little bit. But I really want to engage on this. I really love this topic, because I believe that mental health is something that can be handled, and most people keep this problem to themselves, and that should never be the case. You should never keep mental issues to yourself. Let me cover this for a minute. You should never keep mental issues. Oh wow, this is nice. We should never keep mental issues to ourselves. We should be able to speak out, engage with people around us, talk to people, because when you talk to people and open up, that is when you can be able to solve your problems, because another person can be able to let you know, to advise you, or rather counsel you in one or two ways. But if you keep your problems to yourself, that is now accelerating poor mental health. You're bringing stress to yourself, because that is how stress comes about. Stress, encouraging depression and so many other things. So guys, I really like us to stop here today because of this rain, but I'll be doing this every alternate days. The day after tomorrow, I'll do another live, or rather another session of this, and we'll be able to engage and have a candid conversation on this. So guys, thank you so much for engaging into this live today. It was just an introduction part of it. I'm really happy for people who have joined and to watch this video. You can start from the beginning, of course, so that you can learn on some of the things that we talked about starting this video, or rather by starting this live. and you can be really be able to appreciate what you are really trying to advocate. So guys, I really like to wrap it up here because of the rain, but ensure that you catch up tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, for another session where we'll be able to now handle mental health in families, communities, in us, in a very holistic approach. You see, counseling services, you can handle case by case, and that should be really, really, really nice. So to all my fans who are watching this video, thank you so much for watching this video up to this point. This was an introductory part of mental health. I'm now trying to bring you guys to me and become easy, and so that you can be able to open up, because I'm free with anybody. I'm sure I can handle anything. I can handle any mental state. I can be able to tell you and give you a very, very holistic approach on how we're going to achieve a good mental status. So guys, I really want to end my life here because of this rain. Although I really want us to continue. What do you think, guys? You can comment on that section, or on the comment section down below. But this is a topic I really, really like. Today I had some reference, some one or two reference in my written in my notebook here, because I really wanted to be deep on this, or rather be very, very systematic on this, so that we can have a specific way of approaching this monster, because it's a monster, trust me. So guys, this is it. Please feel free to engage me. Check me on my Instagram at Kibe Bryant. DM me directly. You can handle your case, each case, for free, because you're all my fans. You support me and I support you. So kindly check me on Instagram, subscribe to our channel. This is the first day we are doing this, so pardon me if there was one or two things mix up or something, but I'm trying to just bring the introduction to introduce you guys to this mental health issue, and to be able to make you guys free and open to engaging us, or rather engaging me, so that you can talk about this mental health issue, to avoid depression, stress. We don't want that. We don't want anybody depressed. We don't want anybody stressed. We don't want anybody having suicidal thoughts because they can't cope with one or two things. No, everything is possible. Everything is possible. So guys, that is it. The rain is really becoming much, and I really want to go. So see you on the next video. So bye bye.